Welcome back, everyone. Mark here from Elite Duels bringing another video. Today we're going to take a deep dive into IEM Katowice 2020. We're going to preview the matchups, fantasy picks, and betting. We're also going to take a quick view at DreamHack Anaheim and look at some of the outrights and bets for that event as well. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and make sure you stay until the end of the video because at that point we're going to announce the giveaway winner. I'd like to start off by giving big praise to Refresh Entertainment, the organizers behind Blast Premiere, on a tremendous event. It was very entertaining and well organized. Looking forward to watching more of these events throughout the remainder of the season. Congratulations to both G2 and OG, who both qualified out of Group C. G2 looking very strong, finishing a perfect 3-0, while OG stunned the CS community, finishing second in the group. Again, we're seeing teams who have been more active, having more success coming out on the first major event of the season, and moving forward to Katowice 2020, I'll be looking to take advantage of this. Extremely disappointed in 100 Thieves, who got blown out in both their matchups against G2 and Evil Geniuses. We predicted Evil Geniuses wasn't going to advance. They were coming into the event in a downward slump. It was very odd to see these matches, especially with Evil Geniuses and OG, where the opposing team would blow out the other team on their map pick to go to a third map, where it would then be much closer. Here are some final stats for Group C. Kenny S and Hunter leading the way for G2 with a perfect 3-0 record, while Nexa, Jax, and Ominic all finished with strong performances. I'd like to point out that each player finished the event with a positive KD on G2. 100 Thieves, as mentioned previously, was extremely disappointing going 0-2 in the group and failed to win a map. We see OG and EG players having higher fantasy outputs than those of G2, but that's simply due to the fact that they played way more maps. Nonetheless, we see Valde, Mantu, and Issa lead the attack for OG. We really saw some weak points with NBK on certain sites, and noticing that he's been more than happy to grab the noob tube, which to me seems a bit of lack of confidence and the ability to out-aim on the CT side. We saw G2 completely expose him on Dust 2 when he would try to anchor B by himself. We saw adjustments come later when Issa started to go on B. However, G2 100% was exposing him and almost went B every single round on Dust 2 when they first played them. Let's take a look at the overall top players from Blast event. No surprise here with Simple leading the way. One thing to note here is that if you did see OG playing as many matches as they did, then you would have had a very successful fantasy team. I honestly didn't see them having any success, and I don't really think that we saw them have that much success. We did see them get exposed, losing to G2 every single time. The only ones that they did win were against Evil Geniuses, and we saw Evil Genius completely lacking any confidence this weekend, and they had so much inconsistencies in their games when it came to callouts, communications, and their fragging ability. We saw OG struggle both times against G2, and I believe we'll continue to see that happen with OG playing other top-tier teams who are in form. I don't think they can beat a top team with right now this current lineup. I truly believe we'll need to see a replacement for MBK and Alexei B, at least one of those guys, and they need to pick up a stronger support player. Regardless, they still advance to the finals of Blast Premiere, and we have to give them respect for that. We're also very happy with our G2 outright for winning Group C, hitting a plus 275. Additionally, we hit our first bet of G2 versus 100 Thieves, and we took the over 2.5 maps for OG versus Evil Geniuses. What a great weekend for betting. Let's hope we can follow it up with some more wins with IEM Katowice. The event is set to start with Group Stage February 24th and finish on the 27th, featuring 2 double elimination format with each group having 8 teams and using the ESL CSGO World Rankings. All matches are best of 3, and the top 3 teams from each group will advance to the playoffs. The group stage winner will advance directly to the semifinals, with the runner-up and third place finishers will qualify for the quarterfinals. The playoffs commence February 28th in a single elimination bracket with the quarterfinals and semifinals featuring best of 3s and the grand finals featuring a best of 5, which I really dislike, but we'll save that for another video. The total prize pool for the event is $500,000, with the first place taking home $250,000. Let's take a quick look at the ESL rankings and compare them to the HLTV. ESLs differ much from that of HLTV, and I'll give a quick breakdown as to why. ESL weights tournament performances much higher than HLTV. Their ranking was built to measure teams' performances as tournaments first and foremost. It's not an ELO-based ranking dependent on the results of specific matchups. Every relevant tournament counts towards the ranking. ESL looks at size of the event and quality of each team, which then determines how many points are up for grabs at the event, and quality rating acts as a multiplier. This is why you see Astralis ranked as number 2 on ESL and number 1 on HLTV. Since the tournament is using ESL's rankings, I will refer to those for the remainder of the video, but we'll highlight HLTV's rank beside them. Let's start with Group A. Group A features number 2 Astralis, number 3 Fnatic, number 6 Na'Vi, number 7 Vitality, number 11 FaZe, number 12 NIP, number 19 Renegades, and number 20 Cloud9. To keep this video somewhat short, I won't be doing a crazy dive into each team, but I'm going to provide a brief overview of my bracket and each team's record for the event. NIP versus Vitality, which is 7 and 12, is a very tough game for Vitality. They have everything to lose in this match, while NIP are coming off a fairly strong performance at Blast, and Vitality had a disappointing finish. Alex and Apex had particularly weak performances and didn't notice them contribute much throughout the entire weekend. Vitality are minus 225 favorites, and the community is currently predicting a Vitality victory. I will lead slightly in the favor of Vitality because they have a game changer in ZywOo. Next is Astralis versus Cloud9, number 2 versus number 20. I think C9 will give Astralis some scares in the early rounds of map 1, but I predict a decisive victory for the Red Stars early on. They're minus 1,600 and heavy favorites amongst the community. Na'Vi versus FaZe, 6 versus 11. This is going to be quite the match. Very exciting to watch them play. Currently, I'd have both of these teams in my top 5, possibly even the top 3 with how well they're both performing. FaZe are currently slight favorites at minus 150, but the community have Na'Vi as favorites. To me, this is a pick'em, and I'm going to favor Na'Vi. We saw FaZe crush their opponents at Blast and finish the group stage as the top performing team, but again, I'm going to slightly favor the team with the superstar that can win rounds, and that is simple. Fnatic versus Renegades, 3 versus 19. This is tough. We haven't seen Fnatic play at all in 2020. In fact, they haven't played a single professional match this year. Knowing the trend, I would bet that Renegades steal the first map from Fnatic. One thing we can't overlook is the 63.6% win rate over the last 3 months, but again, they haven't played a single pro match this year. On the other hand, Renegades have the ability to play spoiler and have played 11 matches this year. Don't be surprised if you see them win this match altogether, let alone a single map. Here's my bracket. I've got Vitality defeating NIP 2-1, Astralis 2-0 versus C9, Na'Vi versus FaZe, I've got Na'Vi 2-1, and Renegades versus Fnatic, I have Fnatic 2-1. In the upper bracket, I've got Vitality versus Astralis, with Astralis winning 2-0, and Na'Vi versus Fnatic, with Na'Vi coming out on top 2-0. Then Astralis versus Na'Vi in a rematch from Blast Premier Group B. I've got Na'Vi defeating Astralis once again to win the group. In the lower bracket, I have NIP defeating C9 2-1. I've got FaZe defeating Renegades 2-0. Then we have Vitality defeating NIP 2-1. And FaZe defeating Fnatic 2-0. And the final spot leaving up to FaZe versus Vitality, with FaZe winning 2-1. That leaves us with Na'Vi at 3-0, Astralis 2-1, and FaZe at 3-1, all advancing. Moving on to Group B, we've got number 1 Mouse Sports, number 4 Evil Geniuses, 5 Liquid, 8 G2, 9 100 Thieves, 16 Mad Lions, 18 Virtus Pro, and Vici, which are currently unranked, but that's because they're coming off of Tai Lu. 100 Thieves versus G2, which is 8 and 9, a rematch from Blast Premier last weekend. 100 Thieves tries for redemption against a surging G2. This time the lines are reverse. G2 are slight favorites at minus 150. I actually think it should be much higher. G2 proved that they are the side in form, and I think they're going to be the team to beat for Group B. Maybe 100 Thieves can take a map this time, but I think it will be a similar outcome favoring G2 2-0. In the second matchup, we have Mouse Sports versus Vici. Mouse comes in as the number 1 ranked team on ESL and riding a 4-match win streak after winning the Ice Challenge, going a perfect 4-0 and only losing 2 maps. I don't see Vici winning any rounds. What do you think? Can Vici win over 16 rounds combined over 2 mats against Mouse? We'll see. Liquid versus Virtus Pro, number 5 and number 18. Liquid defeated MIBR and NIP without dropping a map, but did look a little shaky against the weaker sides, while against FaZe, they did look extremely out of sync, failing to win a single map out of 4. I do think that Blast was a good event for them to warm up, and I believe Liquid will come into form for this event. Virtus Pro is a wild card for me. You don't really know what you're going to get with them. They can come in and beat a world-class team, or they can show up and easily get 16-0'd. You really never know with them. Liquid come in as massive favorites at minus 800. I feel very confident Liquid takes this one 2-0. Mad Lions versus Evil Geniuses, number 16 versus number 4. Although the rankings would indicate Evil Geniuses being massive favorites, I would actually favor Mad Lions for this matchup. Evil Geniuses are coming off a very poor performance at Blast, and Mad Lions are having an extremely active 2020 with a 70% win rate and a 12-4 record in 2020, beating the likes of OG, Heroic, North, and Ents. I think the Lions are more in form in the moment and will capitalize on a struggling Evil Geniuses squad. My prediction is a 2-0 victory for Mad Lions. Here's my bracket. I have G2 winning 2-0 over 100 Thieves, Mouse winning 2-0 over Vici, Liquid defeating Virtus Pro 2-0, and I have Mad Lions defeating Evil Geniuses 2-0. In the upper bracket, I have G2 defeating Mouse 2-1, and I've got Liquid defeating Mad Lions 2-1, with G2 defeating Liquid 2-1 to win Group B. In the lower brackets, I have 100 Thieves beating Vici 2-0. Virtus Pro versus Evil Geniuses, I have EG winning 2-1. I've got the Mad Lions against Evil Geniuses, with Mad Lions winning that one again 2-1. Then I have Mouse defeating 100 Thieves 2-0. And for the final spot in Group B, I've got the Mad Lions against Mouse Sports, with Mouse winning 2-1. That leaves us with G2 with 3-0, Liquid at 2-1, and Mouse Sports at 3-1, advancing to the quarterfinals and semifinals. That leaves us with quarterfinals 1, Astralis versus Mouse, and quarterfinal 2, Liquid versus FaZe, with G2 and Navi waiting in the semifinals. Here are my bets and fantasy picks for the week. I'm going to do the following parlay. I like Astralis versus Cloud9, take the maps under 2.5. Fnatic versus Renegades, take the Fnatic money line, and G2 versus 100 Thieves, G2 money line. Throw down $100 and it returns $281. Next, my day 2 bets. We only know 2 games at this moment, so I'm going to do the following parlay. I've got Mad Lions money line, and I've got the Liquid and Virtus Pro under 2.5 maps. $100 pays $367. Now for some futures and outrights. There's really good value with G2 at plus 1,800, so I'm going to put $20 on them, which returns $380. That's my gamble for the weekend, so I've got G2 winning the entire event. I'm also going to put $20 on Navi to win Group A. That returns $150. I'm also putting $20 on G2 to win Group B. That's a $180 return. And I'm going to put $16 on Astralis to win Group A as a hedge bet. That pays $40 and covers our bets on Navi and G2 if they both don't win their groups. Now looking at drafting our team on Elite Duels. Now that we've done some research and always look for players currently in form and who we think was going to play the most amount of maps, which equals more fantasy points. Let's take a look. There's 2 contests, a free one and a $5 entry that pays $637 in prizes. In Tier 1, I'm looking at Nico, Robson, Zaiwu. If we believe Navi and G2 are going to win their groups, that's only 3 matches. Out of those 3, we're going to go with Zaiwu. Him and Simple are fantasy machines. Always like taking one of them. We took Simple last time and it worked out really nicely for us, so now we're going to take Zaiwu. In Tier 2, I like Device, Frozen, and Woxic. Last time we took Device, he flopped for us, but I really don't think that's going to happen twice, so we're going to take him in Tier 2. In Tier 3, I really like Cold Zera. The way he played at Blast brought fond memories of the old Cold Zera that we know. I think he plays really well at this event, and we believe FaZe will play 1 to 2 extra matches in the group stage. In Tier 4, I'm looking at Twist and Chris J. Because we're projecting Liquid ahead of Mouse in Group B, it makes me lean more towards Chris J. Finally, in Tier 5, I want to make as many maps as possible out of the last draft pick. So looking at FaZe, Vitality, Mad Lions, and Mouse, we're projecting all of them to have 4 maps or 4 matches. For those guys, we're looking at Apex, Shox, Olaf, Kerrigan, and Hunden. Last time we took Shox, it really paid off. In Tier 5, we're typically looking for a player that can keep a even kill-death ratio, so we're going to stick with that concept and go with shocks. Now on to the giveaway. The winner of the factory new Tiger Tooth Navaja knife is Dext0DK. Congratulations and thank you to everyone for entering. We are going to DM you directly, so don't answer anyone else. We will contact you for your prize. We'll do another giveaway as soon as we hit 400 subscribers on YouTube, so liking this video really helps. What's the next skin we should give away? Let us know in the comments. Good luck everyone on Elite Duels and betting for this upcoming week. I really hope everyone wins. Our next video will be coming next week at the conclusion of Group Stage IEM Katowice. I'd also like to take the time now to introduce the D Bros podcast, which features myself and Nick, my brother. We both have deep passions for all things sports and esports. We're going to break down everything with regards to video game news, esports news, betting news, anything to do with esports. We're going to talk about it in length. You can find the podcast on Elite Duels, which is on iTunes, Spotify, and Google. Anywhere that you can hear a podcast or download a podcast, you will find Elite Duels. So make sure you go give us a follow on there. Make sure you stay tuned because that podcast is actually coming out today. Anyways, I hope everyone has a great weekend and good luck.
Are you a gamer looking for something more than just playing? Introducing Elite Duels, the world's first skill-based daily fantasy esports platform that allows you to make your own fantasy esport team, cheer your favorite professional gamer, earn fantasy points, and win real cash. You can choose and enter a contest for games like Fortnite, CSGO, Rocket League, and Rainbow Six Siege. Simply enter a contest, select 5 players, one from each tier to fill out your fantasy team, and start cheering. Sounds amazing, right? Visit www.eliteduels.com and start drafting.